Welcome back, everybody. Let's have a look at Bitcoin and XRP. Actually, we'll just have a look at these two on this one video now. So it's on first glance, and I've just moved it back, but on first glance it looks like our pitchfork tool has failed until I realised that I hadn't measured it up perfectly. Unfortunately, you know, when you've got a kid and then you have another one and then you've got a full-time job and a missus and you've got all these things, you end up losing your edge. And I hadn't placed this on the wick. If we're measuring wicks, that wasn't placed on the wick. Now it's placed on the wick. What do we see over here? We see that actually today it has been respected after all. It makes the entire trend a little messier, but it actually allows us that little bit of extra life, to be honest with you. And that's basically what appears like what it's got. But the problem I've got now is that does this pitchfork suit my bias, or was my original pitchfork true to form and has it failed? Or actually, is this an appropriate time to be using a pitchfork in the first place? I mean, a lot of the time when you use a pitchfork, they don't really work very well anyway. Anyway, all I'm saying is that perhaps maybe we do bounce from here, and this is going to be the start of the next few days back in the green. Who knows? Judging by the RSI though, it's obviously coming all the way down, which is kind of what we want. But we didn't want to see this. But I suppose, you know, what goes up must come down. So we do actually have some pretty steep bullish cross there taking place on the MACD. So that's not good. That's not good at all. So this could easily have continuation down, and this pitchfork could break, definitely. And if it does break, I'd imagine it would come down all the way down to around about either the green 50 there, or the bottom of the Bollinger Band, or maybe even further down to this guy here. So we're talking about perhaps a maximum drop of down to between 9,000 to 8,800. I would say that would be the absolute bottom level of this one, and then it'd be time to buy this one back up. Now, I've actually been buying back up at these levels anyway, so I'm pretty much all in at the moment with this and XRP and Ethereum. So that's pretty much my main holdings. That's all I've really got. I've got quite a few Binance coins, but I've always got quite a few Binance coins. So let's have a look at XRP and then see what's going on with this one, because this is an interesting chart unto itself. So the golden cross is being delayed now because it's all evening out a little bit, so that golden cross doesn't look like it wants to take place now for a couple of weeks, and that's fine. But obviously things can change. Now this is a huge rejection that we've had here. All the altcoins have been rejected, but that's because Bitcoin was severely rejected too, or should I say just pulled back. This was more of an actual rejection, because we tested it 1, 2, 3 times at the 34-cent mark, came all the way down to test this descending trend, which is what we've been under for 2 years straight. The fact is, we did close above it last night, and our weekly candle body closed above it, so to me that's still pretty bullish, and we're above it still, even though we've fallen from the sky. Let's have a measure move from the top of that to where the price action is right now. We're down 18% from that top, so quite a significant drop that we've had there. We're pretty far down from that top, but the weekly is actually bullish. So let's just bear that in mind. We've got a bullish cross here. Let's have a look at that Itchy cloud. Actually, I believe that Itchy cloud should have crossed by now. Yes, so we've got a confirmation of that Ichimoku cloud cross, and we are above this descending resistance trend line. So I still think, and I know it's not a popular thing to say, but I still think that XRP is going to be pretty bullish from this point forward. That said, it doesn't look bullish at the moment. So let's go down to some lower time frames to see what they're talking about. Go to a 4-hourly to start with. So the 4-hourly looks like that's getting ready. I mean, we've got a bit of bullish divergence in play now on the 4-hourly, so it looks like it's getting ready to make another test, perhaps maybe to the centre of the Bollinger Band, maybe up to 30 cent or so, underneath this green cloud here, which isn't such a bad place for it to get up to. So that'll be up to 30 cent flat. Probably find a rejection at 30 cent flat, to be honest. I think that's where we're likely to go in the short term, so we're talking maybe tonight into tomorrow. We'll be reaching that 30 cent mark, and then that might cause another pump, coming up to around about the 31 to the 34 cent mark at some point within this week. Once we've broken the 34-cent mark, though, I think it's all the way up to somewhere like 40, 41 or so. And I did make a relatively bold prediction a few days back that 41 cent is going to be our next target that could be hit this week. So we are on Monday at the moment. Obviously, that'd take a hell of a boost from where we are right now to get to 41 cents. So let's just measure that up just to see how ridiculous that sounds. We're talking 43% move to the up. It's not out of the realms of possibility, definitely not. It might not be hit this week, but it's definitely on the cards. The MACD looks like it wants to cross tonight, so that's obviously a bearish sign for our XRP. So in all fairness, what I'm expecting, to be honest with you, if we don't get the pump now to avoid this, because we're not, in all fairness, we're not ridiculously high on the MACD. We are quite high though, but we're not ridiculously high when we look at where we've been in the past. I mean, it's not that high at all. We could have a little tiny cross, or we could avoid this cross altogether if we decide to pump tonight up to 30 cent, which is what I'm kind of thinking might happen. But at the same time, the market right now is extremely indecisive. Now, if we go by this this trend that we've got up here, and this was the bottom of this, and this is our support, then we should be looking at testing areas of around about 10,200 or so, 10,250 to maybe 10,350 over the next few days. That would definitely help all these alts, because the dominance has gone down again today. The alts are recovering a little bit faster than Bitcoin, so it would mean that XRP alongside Ethereum and all these other coins will actually have bigger pumps still. So a lot of these losses that we've had, they'll be recovered quite quickly. That would really need to happen here. Anyway, it's only a real short video because, like I say, at the moment it's indecisive. There's no need for me to rant on about stuff that I'm absolutely not 100% sure on. We're in the middle, pretty much at the middle of the Bollinger Band on the daily with Bitcoin, so it's, you know, when we come down to this level, we could easily break down from it, and it's going to be very difficult for me to give anyone any degree of certainty as to where we're going. I'm still biased to the up, but a pullback all the way down to this level, you know, is possible. So a 9,000 to a 8,800 level is possible, but it's not necessarily going to happen. But we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, I'll leave it with you there. It's only a real short video. But thanks for watching anyway. Take it easy.